Hello everybody, this is me Gibbon, and in this video I'm gonna answer one question of my subscribers. This guy said that he started his Login practice, and since he started, when he stretch on the bench, he feels like he wanna cry, and he's also kind of sad during daytime since he started to stretch. And he asks if that's normal or not. Basically, normal means, in my opinion, it's normal, but it's not happening in everyone. And I'll tell you why. Because this is a so-called healing crisis. In many people, the healing crisis can be different. But this healing crisis actually is not that uncommon. So it is happening very often, actually. But maybe not everyone is experiencing it that deep, you know. So many people cry during Paidalajin, and also many people feel a little depressed when they start the Login journey or Paidalajin journey. It was the same in me. When I started, I felt for months fatigue. I felt with less energy, and I felt kind of a little bit depressed. But in the same time, I realized that I can sleep. I feel healing. You see, I experienced healing effect in my sleep, in my sex life, in my digestion, and in my posture, and I felt this fatigue too, but to all this time, but I was a little bit depressed because of it. You see, you cannot be tired and happy in the same time. But I knew that this is probably a healing crisis, and sooner or later it will disappear. And it really did it, actually. It did disappear, and it turns into more energy and more courage in life. I became more motivated, like with more stable mind. Uh, but yeah, this crying, this and this depression, this anxiety is actually healing crisis, because it is said that for one disease to disappear, it first needs to appear. It is the same thing, like you want to take out the trash, you see, from your house, but first you need to collect it, to have it, to see it, to smell it, to get it out, you see. And you realize how dirty you were, how dirty your house were before cleaning it, before starting to clean it. So it is something like that in Paidalajin, because it's very detoxification, very detoxifying practice. This kind of reactions are very common. So you can experience many different variations of healing crisis, but if you stick to your practice, they will disappear sooner or later. Let me tell you about my experience with healing crisis when stretching, or when started stretching on the bench, to encourage you to continue your practice. I try to explain it in many details. So let me stand. Sorry, I've just fixed my setup a little bit because I was on the knees. So yeah, In my experience, it was like I started with mostly Login. Maybe 95% of my practice was Login. I didn't bite it that much my first year and 1-2 months. And when I started, I felt very good the first day. Um, and but then I started to slowly increase this healing crisis. One of the healing crisis, the first healing crisis was, of course, the pain during the. I'm not talking. I will talk right now what I felt in the daytime, not during the stretch. So, but first, my first healing crisis was shoulder pain. Maybe after a week and a half, my shoulders start to become bigger, painful, sore, and you see when you have that big of a pain in the upper body, you feel like something is pressing you, like and it affected my mood too, and it wasn't the most pleasant feeling, but I realized that if I just stick to the practice, this may disappear. I was new to Paidalajin, but I was very strict, and I said, okay, I will give it a try. It hurts a lot, but I will continue practice because this is written in the book. Then the pain in the middle of the upper back appeared, and I did the same. Like I just continued the stretch, and this pain in my shoulders became bigger and bigger. I had a hard time lifting my arms, and I cannot say exactly when it stopped. Um, this pain disappeared, but it happened kind of maybe in a week, 2 weeks, something like this. First disappeared the pain in the upper back, then disappeared the pain in my shoulders, and then I unlocked new moves in my breakdancing um, career. See, because my shoulders became stronger, upper back too, and I was able to use my right shoulder. It was something new to me. I was very happy about that. Um, and also the fatigue, the anxiety disappeared with the shoulders actually. And then I was just grinding it, the lodging, and improving my health, and try to improve how much I stayed on the bench. Another healing crisis was even more gases, because I used to suffer from gases, this gastrointestinal, um this, how is it, discomfort. So it increases even more during my first 2 months, or maybe not 2 months, maybe 1 month of Lachin, and then it disappeared like that. um, it's amazing. And another healing crisis, a sign of detoxification, was, as you probably know if you are a subscriber on this channel, I started because of premature ejaculation, and probably I had a lot of toxins in the pelvis. So one of the healing crises was bad smell, bad odor from the genitals. I didn't have it before starting to stretch, and when I started, it appeared. And this is the thing that stayed the most out of every healing crisis I've had. Everything else like disappeared in a month or two, but this thing stayed like a lot, maybe 6 months. You can imagine, like I can even imagine how many how many toxins I've accumulated during my life in the pelvis. So probably I got very deep blockage that took a lot of time to detoxify, to clean for my body. And yeah, after some time, this thing stopped, and I actually was I was like really didn't believe that this thing will disappear. Imagine half a year having it. You think that this will be like forever, but um, fortunately, it didn't. So about the crying, about feeling depression, it is the same. Probably this guy has a lot of toxins that cause depression, anxiety, um, and also about the crying on the bench. This is super common. I've cried on the bench a few times, especially when I push myself. Even now, like if I push myself to stretch like for 45 minutes, I feel very, very, very big pain, and maybe I will not cry with tears, you see, but I will be like something like this. Uh, uh, it's there are a few things that really makes you enter this state where you the pain is so big that it's like going so deep through your soul, like you feel like um, super sad feelings, super sad painful feelings in in some state of this stretching. So, in my opinion, it's very good to stretch from time to time for that long to experience this thing, because it really has a good effect on the soul. At least I think so, and so does the Master Shao. And there's also specific parts of the body where people cry when they slap, when they practice Paida. And one of them, like people cry the most, is the armpits. There are many videos where people on the Paidalajin workshops, they lay like that, or they stretch on the bench like this, and two people slapping their armpits, and they cry. I don't know why, but when I do this too, I feel like I'm gonna cry. It goes very deep. It goes very deep. There is one more practice like this. It's called sadhu, um, which is a practice where people step on nails, on boards with nails, you see. And this is also the same reaction, the same thing. From the unblocking, when you step on these nails, it feels like you're going to cry. So this is a very, very common thing, and I believe that this is a part of the game, and very important part of the game, because when you feel this crying, is the state that you unblock the most, because you unblock not only superficial and physical, but both mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. You unblock a lot in this state, because your body is really connected with your practice in that state. When you reach that state, that it goes so deep, that connects everything in your body, and the problem starts to flow, like this problem. That's why it's the crying. This is how I am explaining it. And I'm a practitioner, like daily practitioner, and this is my opinion. If you ask for my opinion, doesn't matter if you believe what I'm saying or not. This is it. Oh yeah. So what else I can say about this problem? I probably I can talk a lot, because this is kind of the spiritual aspect of Paidalajin. I have a video like this, the spiritual aspect of Paidalajin. You can check it out. And yeah, new videos actually are coming to this channel. I decided to make videos about different conditions, and good Paidalajin practices for them. It's like urinary problems, like cold, flu, like hypertension, obesity. So I will make a lot of videos with good Paidalajin practices about them, and they will be good for new subscribers, for like Google search. Like someone can search about some kind of disease and my videos to appear. It's gonna be a different type of content than these talks that we are doing here live. Yeah, again, it was a pleasure to make this video for you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.